I guess today is joke day. It is, I saw all kinds of things being set up and wondered what it was for. They're patting their own backs and they're shaking their own hands today. Can you imagine having such a dopey event to celebrate your own shirker, never do a damn thing self? Oh my Lord Jesus. Talk about shameless. Talk about shameless. Here, we're by the Department of Health now. There's someone smoking a cig. They all, not to put down cig smokers, but it is funny that that's where it happens. Poor Veterans Affairs. They're not really part of this. Public Service Week. That is just hilarious. You know, the joke, my poor grandmother, she flew airplanes in the 20s. And then her mother wouldn't let her anymore. I think there were barnstormers and crazy stuff going on. We have some fun pictures from that time of her. And so she ended up at the post office for a bit. And she always said that it was called the post office. And when they changed the name to postal service, that was when they took the service out. I think that's some kind of a funny thing, but wow, they're setting up tents to honor their own little shirker selves. This place is hilarious. I've come here before when they have flown in barbecue specialists from New Orleans to, do barbecue events for the state shirkers. And I wouldn't be so cynical, except Doc and I in the 90s, we did everything to try to stop some really bad stuff that was going on. And we even had specialists in DC behind us, everything for a lot of different stuff. And these people wouldn't even bother to answer their phones. There was one guy, I remember his name was Mr. Weed, and he was at Department of Natural Resources. And one night I called at 5 p.m. sharp, and it was the only time he ever answered the phone. And I realized he probably thought it was his mistress or his wife telling him to bring home milk or something. It's yeah, I'm answering the phone at the very end of the day, but we would try to contact him. They were putting fluoridone in the water here, which was something used in Vietnam for what the Agent Orange couldn't kill. And then after Agent Orange, they had a ton of extra stuff. We've got extra fluoridone here at Fort Lewis. So they just started using it here. And a really nice guy named Larry, who was a friend of Doc's, actually found a canister in the woods that said fluoridone on it. And he brought the canister down, put it in front of some state building, like the governor, building, and then called the newspaper and said, "You need to come down and photograph this. You need to see what they're actually spraying here." So we've just got some real fools running the show here. They're chopping down everything, they're poisoning everything, and they're having festivals celebrating their own hideous demonic selves. It's just too funny. So you see why Mankin and I do our little escapes. You see why we do them indeed. But they'll be big fun. As Beck would say, shaking their own hands, kissing their own backs, and all that good stuff. Oh my Lordy Jesus.